Hello everyone. On our day 2 in Switzerland, we visited Lake Zurich with its fountain, the old Zurich city, and finally we visited Lindt, the home of chocolate. On our third day in Switzerland, we got up early, had our breakfast consisting of upma and egg, and then got ready and is on our way to the bus station from where we will be getting inside a bus which will take us to Rhine Falls. I booked this bus tour via Get Your Guide app, and it cost somewhere around 26,000 rupees for the tour, including five of us. As I've told, the bus station is very near to the apartment where we are staying, and it's hardly a 5-minute walk from our apartment. Our guide was basically giving us the itinerary for the day tour and also giving us instructions.
Beautiful town, but just passed through beautiful town called Markthallen. We are also driving through the countryside, so you have an idea of what the wine lines on the Zurich area are. And on the way back, we are coming through Schaffhausen and Germany. So, you have your passports with you? Oh my goodness! No, I'm just kidding. It's all good. It's all good. This is Schengen. Usually there is no passport control. You should be okay. No problem. But we are coming through your take with you a Swiss fine with home as a souvenir. It's not cheap. Los cinturones. Los cinturones. Muy importante. And no food allowed on board, only water. And that's it. No coffee, no food. Sorry about that. Andiamo, Francesco. Andiamo. Francesco is our driver today. He's from Italy. I'm Sandra. I'm gonna be your guide. I'm from Spain. So you're gonna hear some Penelope Cruz accent there. If you have any question about anything because you couldn't understand, I learned my English in Ireland, so that probably doesn't help either. So if you have any question, just feel free. The Mediterranean countries are a little bit, South Europe, but everywhere else in Europe is very well connected, and you can travel through countries in one day. So this is part of the European experience, and that's why we take you to Germany on the trip today. I was studying in France for a year, and we used to take the car and go to Germany, and yeah, all in the same day. It was with the car. It was just a couple of hours away. It was a lot cheaper. We will talk about this actually on the tour in a little bit. Anyways, we go out through Zurich West today. On our right hand side you have the river Limmat. Is the main river of the city of Zurich, and like us today, it's going to travel all the way to the Rhine river. The Limmat is the Limmat is the river that comes out of the lake. Every lake has a river that flows in and a river that flows out, and the Limmat is the river that flows out of the Zurichsee, and it goes to die in the river Rhine. That is the river that we want to see today, where the waterfalls are. Oh, yeah. We can swim here in the river Limmat. On a day like today, we are at the end of summer, almost autumn, so the weather is not that nice anymore. But if you were here like a few weeks ago, you could see like lots of people swimming on the river Limmat. It's a very Zurich thing to do. And this tall building in front of us is gonna be later on your left hand side. This is the second tallest building in the city of Zurich, believe it or not. And it's a concrete tower. It's a silo. It's the tallest silo in the world. It stores flour. It belongs to the Swiss mill. The Swiss mill is the largest flour company, grain company in Switzerland. The oldest mill, this one was built in 2016 to replace the older mill that was here since the 19th century. And when they built it, it was actually very controversial, you can imagine, because it's not a very nice building. It looks pretty ugly, right? Like it's just a huge concrete tower. And there were a lot of attempts to make it look nicer with paintings and street art, cover it with plants, but nothing worked out. But yeah, the Swiss mill silo, tallest silo in the world, and it's the second tallest building in Zurich. The first tallest building in Zurich is also here in Zurich West, and we are gonna see it in just a couple of seconds. On your left hand side is a green glassy building called the Prime Tower, and you can see it from everywhere in the city because it is for real the tallest building in Zurich. There is not a tradition in Switzerland and not even in Zurich, in big cities like Zurich, to build tall. There is something, people just don't like it. They associate tall buildings with council houses, poor neighborhoods. I'm not really sure what is the bias against the tall buildings, but it's not a thing. You can visit it actually. There is a cafe on the very top floor called the Clouds, and they have very nice cafe, just standard prices, which is expensive. I might have to change the mic. Okay, I'm just gonna change the mic. Just give me a second. This one is misbehaving. Too much power. Demasiado. Se emocionado. Demasiado poderoso. Demasiado valor. I saw a sign saying this. Okay, now. Has a lot of modern architecture. It used to be the industrial area of the city until back in the 90s, and because we have this horrible ongoing housing crisis in Zurich that is never ending, the city needs to grow and grow and grow. Okay guys, so for all of you who don't know, I have 4 guests here in the front that are very much experts in Zurich already because they took the city tour yesterday with Steffi, who is a very great guide, so they know a lot of stuff already. I'm sorry if it's gonna come redundant to you, but for all of you who didn't take any tour just yet, I'm just gonna give you some quick facts about the city of Zurich. So the city of Zurich is the biggest in the country, and even though it's the biggest in the country, it's not that big. It's for international standards, it's still fairly small. Only 400,000 inhabitants in the city center, and if you count the people living around the lake, in the towns around the lake, it's around 1.5 million, which is still pretty small. But for Swiss standards, it's fairly big. Geneva and Basel, that are the other big cities in the country, are only around 200,000 inhabitants. So here in Switzerland, Zurich is cool even for the Swiss people. Like Zurich, it's a little bit of a bubble within the country as well. You cannot really take life in Zurich as a Swiss experience, but unofficially what everybody truly speaks in Zurich is English. It's a very international city, gets people from everywhere around the world. So the main language is definitely English. Not everybody speaks German, but everybody speaks English. This is because of the banks, of course. You probably are aware of Zurich as the financial center and the financial capital of the country, and also one of the biggest financial centers in the world. So a lot of people come from everywhere around the globe to work in Zurich, and as well many other multinationals like the insurance companies or
I was told to test you.
yeah, even though Zurich is the biggest city in the country and also the economic, one of the, perhaps besides Geneva, the economic motor of the country, the capital is Bern. Bern is a very charming little city in the heart of the country. If you have some time to spare, I very much recommend you to go visit Bern. It's 1 hour away with the train, and very easy to visit. It does not have a lake, it has a river, and in the river they have 3 bears that you can go and see because the heraldic animal.
This was one of the time lapse I took of our journey from Zurich to the Rhine Falls.
The Rhine is one of the main rivers here in Switzerland, but also one of the main rivers in Europe. It goes through 5 different countries. It's born here in the Alps, in the Graubünden area. The spring is in the Alps. And from Switzerland it goes to Liechtenstein, goes to Austria, Germany, France, and then finally the Netherlands, where it dies up in the North Sea. It's 1,300 kilometers long, a pretty long river, and it's also very has a lot of water. It's very wide and it has a lot of water. What makes it one of the easiest rivers in Europe to navigate?
What? Probably 5 or 6 years ago, what? The river was so dried up.
That's correct. That's correct. Not that long ago, in this same tour, I had a guest who was actually working in logistics. He had a company in Asia, and they used the river to transport goods, and they had a lot of issues in the last few years because of the low water. That's right. I was gonna talk about that.
Okay, all right. We went on the Rhine.
Oh, you were on the Rhine cruise. Oh, that's cool. Was it fun? I believe it was.
8 years ago.
It's okay. No problem. This is fine. We're a very small group, so it's okay. So this guest here, they actually were lucky enough to go on a cruise on the river. And I was gonna mention that actually to you, because the river, because it's so large and it has so much water, since the very beginning, already the Romans, for instance, were using it for the transportation of people and goods. It was a lot faster to get a boat on the river and go from Italy to Germany, from here Switzerland to anywhere in Germany using the river than using the land. So since the very beginning, you could say it was kind of a little bit of a motorway, the first motorway in Europe. And even nowadays, it's still like that. That's still the case. There are a lot of boats, like touristy boats with cruises that take you around the beautiful towns at the river. Guest in this same tour, that he was telling me how in the recent years the level waters of the river have been going slowly down, and it's been very difficult to move boats around. So, and that was another topic I was going to talk about, because the water of the river Rhine comes mostly from the melt. Going back to the river Rhine, the river, what are we going to visit today are the waterfalls on the river Rhine. The waterfalls on the river Rhine are the biggest in Europe. Of course, if you've seen in other sites like the Niagara Falls, or then definitely these ones are gonna look small. But here in Europe are the biggest ones we have. Not in height, but in width. They are not very tall, but they are very wide, are over 120 meters wide. And what makes them so spectacular is the amount of water that comes down and how powerful it is. We will get to see it today. Luckily, the last months of summer, July, August and September, are the best times to go to the waterfalls, because it's when all the snow has melted already on the mountains, and then it's when the river has the most water. So I hope you will enjoy it today. If you want to take the boat, please know that it's very safe. Nothing ever using the power of the waterfalls to make meals work. And back in the modern ages, they actually built high furnace to melt iron. And in the 19th centuries, there was an attempt to turn the waterfalls into an electric plant to produce electricity. But luckily this never happened. The people already back in the 19th century complained, and they tried to protect the site. And they managed to keep it for the visitors. It was never turned into a water plant, which at the end it kind of worked out eventually, because the Rhine flows bring a lot of income to the city of Schaffhausen through tourism, so I think it did work out well. tell summer is over and autumn is coming from the fog. This is so typical from autumns in here. Yes. And we are also very close to the river, so it gets very foggy on the lowlands in autumn. And then when it gets foggy in the lowlands, when it gets foggy down, then the best thing you can do is to go to the nearest mountain you have, even if it's not too high, and go to the top, and then you will have a beautiful sunny day, sunny and warm, and you're just on top of the clouds. It's just such a beautiful experience. It's so quick and it's so cheap and it's so amazing. It's one of these beautiful things of Switzerland. We are driving now through the countryside, and you can see there are a lot of very small lands. Here are the small farms. There is not a lot of industrial farming here because let's please keep in mind that 60% of the country is covered by the mountains, so there are not much left for farmers to work on. So farming in Switzerland only accounts for 1% of the GDP. Many of these farms are very small. They need to be subsidized by the government, and they also need to diversify their activities, not only farming. They might have like maybe places so you can have your horse, or some farms even offer daycare for children so the children can be with. The cultural pressure is just I pay. I don't know anyone who does not pay for the stuff. Which means that they don't have enough to export. All the wine they produce stays in the country. Only 1% gets out of the country. So if you like wine, you can definitely go to a restaurant and order some nice Swiss wine with your food and have a pretty exclusive experience. I don't think you will be able to drink Swiss wine anywhere else. Here you have many different types of wine because the climate is so I cannot really recommend you any good wine. It's gonna be a little bit cold. It's a good day to eat some nice raclette or fondue, and if you do so, then pair it with some nice Swiss wine. The wine was introduced in Switzerland by the monasteries in the Midwest, in Canton Vaud, the La Vaud terraces. They are the UNESCO heritage site. You can go there and visit them. They are very beautiful, especially at this time of the year. They are vineyards that are grown on the mountain sides. And there is also the smallest vineyard in the world that belongs to the Dalai Lama, as a fun fact. It has only 3 vines of wine, which is not a lot. And it produces wine, and they sell this wine, and the benefits, the income of this little vineyard goes to charity. Because you would say, which kind of wine can be produced in 3? But they do, and they actually, you can see it, you can go and visit the shop in the farm. Just a few seconds. We come through this little town so you can have an idea of what a traditional village here in Switzerland is. Not only typical to Switzerland, but to Central Europe. If you go to France or Germany, you could see the same kind of places. There are these villages built mostly with half-timbered houses. It was a very common construction method in Europe, especially in the wood, where wood was abundant. Not in that much in the Mediterranean areas because wood was not that abundant. It was a very Yeah, most of these little houses are actually from the 16th and 17th century, and this is one of the reasons why half-timbered houses were so popular, because it was a very resilient type of architecture, as you can see, centuries long, and they are still functioning. These houses are not abandoned, they are not closed, this is not a museum or anything. These houses are still, the families live here, normal families that work in Winterthur and Zurich or here in the farms. So pretty resilient type of architecture. It's made of wood, and in between you would have they would put bricks, and the wood is very easy to maintain. So you just need, if you have something, you just need to change the bricks. Of course, living in a place like this is very charming and very cute, but it comes with its downsides. You can isolate them, but you cannot change much. You have to keep them. You have to invest in reparations by law. You cannot just let the house. You cannot bring anything modern into it. You have to preserve the the building system. You cannot bring anything new. So a lot of laws around these houses that you need to keep. So tricky to. On your right hand side, you will see a B saying Lewis. Lewis? Was Lewis? It's a very common thing here in Switzerland, especially for that's how you tell a Catholic family from a Protestant one. In many cases, it's very common when you have a kid, you put a little.
I booked this ticket for the tour to the Rhine Falls via Get Your Guide app, and it cost me somewhere around 26,000 rupees. So what I was expecting is just a journey from Zurich till Rhine Falls, but this tour actually gave me an insight into the village life as well as the city life of Switzerland. And our guide was an amazing guide who gave a lot of explanation regarding each and everything as we were passing through by the bus. 26,000 rupees is for a family of 5 people. As we were passing by, we could see a heavy mist or fog blanketing the hilly area, and you can see the scenic view of the farmlands and the houses in the villages of Switzerland. Finally, after the mystical ride along the beautiful mountainous areas and farmlands and through the villages of Switzerland, we reached the Rhine Falls. Now, this is our beautiful guide who accompanied us throughout our journey from Zurich to Rhine Falls, and she was giving us instructions on this map which was displayed near the ticket counter.
You have another part of the visit that are the viewing platforms. Please mind there are a lot of steps. It's very steep down, and it's all steps. There is no way to skip them. But yeah, you have 1 and 2 and 3, and they take you very close to the waterfalls from land as well. And lastly, you can also visit the castle with your ticket. If you still have some time to spare, you can go inside the castle, and that's all that is included for the visit. Now you have the red rooms here, and I'm going to go get your tickets there, and then we can go. And if you have any questions, you can come and ask.
And for the boat tickets, we buy it at the pier?
Directly, yes, there.
Downstairs?
Yes, it's a different company.
Okay.
They don't
That's-
talk to each other, so you need to buy them there. Okay, I'll be with you in 2 minutes.
Now, this is the map of the Rhine Falls, and this is a magnified view showing various landmarks. And here is our guide who is getting tickets from the ticket counter. Meanwhile, these are some of the instructions and the cost for the ticket. And this is the washroom area. സ്റ്റെപ്പ് മമ്മിയോട് വെള്ളം നിറയ്ക്കണമെങ്കിൽ നിറയ്ക്കാം. മനസ്സിലായോ?
വെള്ളം വേണ്ടിക്ക് എടുത്തോളാം.
Our guide basically told us to get our water bottles refilled from this fountain, and it is safe to drink. She also told us that we can get some photos from this entrance, and we are looking forward for our journey to the falls.